In an era where movie games were being put out just as much as musical biopics are now, we got some of the most unnecessary and wildest video game adaptations imaginable. And if you just saw a movie in a theater, chances are you could go pick up the video game version on your way home and go play it. But nowadays, that just doesn't happen anymore, so we have to turn the clock way back to experience what was once the movie game era. Now, recently, I just did my yearly rewatch of a childhood favorite movie, Monster House. Released in 2006, Monster House has gained popularity through the years due to its unique animation, lovable characters, and genuinely creepy story. And of course, with the movie came a video game. But unfortunately, I never got the chance to play the video game, and that is what brings us here today. And to nobody's surprise, Monster House the game comes in at 59 out of 100 for critic rating and 6.8 out of 10 user rating with mostly negative reviews. One user giving the game a 10 out of 10 comparing it to Resident Evil 4, and another giving it a 40 out of 100 saying to just take your kids to theater again because the game itself costs more than going to see the movie twice. And I will say that $40 for a game like this is quite ridiculous. Anyways, it's gonna be a little bit different than my other videos because there is no platinum trophy back on the PS2, and most movie games just had a main story and that was it. But luckily, Monster House has its main story along with the collectibles section, allowing for a little bit more to play for completionists like myself. Now, getting into the game itself here, we start with a very brief story of how Nevercracker and the house came to be.
You know how every block has a cranky old man that doesn't want you on his lawn?
And a pervert. And the kids plan to defeat the Monster House, leading us to Chapter 1, where the kids have been taken in by the Monster House and very quickly separated. Oh, shit. With the, little graphic tweaks, this game does not look terrible. I mean, you can obviously still tell it's PS2, but do we get to choose who we play as, I wonder?
Guys.
Oh, never mind. We don't get to play as Jenny. And we don't get to play as Chowder either. All right, here we go. This sets up the story to fight our way through the house to find each other, team up, and defeat the house once and for all. So of course, starting off as DJ, we're thrown into the house with little direction of what to do, but we very quickly figure out how funky the controls are and camera feel in this game. Okay, so knowing there's collectibles in this in this game, I wonder if we're gonna have to go around and shoot every little thing. Now, the first step here is to find the key to unlock the kitchen door. And once we do that, we enter the kitchen, which is a training room of sorts. We learn how to lock onto enemies so we can shoot while strafing. Oh, there's our crosshair. Once locked... Wait, I was trying to read that. Then find a can of soda, which is the healing item in this game. Then find our first evil chair after walking into the light, coming from the window. Okay, combat. Boom, and we killed a chair. And the chair opened up a door. Now, moving on to the next room, we find a few more chairs than our first flying book that hit us because I ignored the message on the screen. Books are bad, maybe? Oh, damn. Okay. And in the same room, we find our first of 32 toy monkeys. Whenever you find one of these, you will unlock game art in the gallery. Okay, there we go. So those are the collectibles we need to collect. These are the only collectible items in the game, and every monkey unlocks a different game art in the gallery. So we'll need to find all 32 in order to 100% the game. From there, we enter our first bathroom, which just serves as a checkpoint autosave area in this game. Then enter a cutscene introducing us to our second character, Jenny. Jenny. So as Jenny, we are trapped on the second floor, and she has a slingshot as our special weapon. Here we also find our first arcade coins, which are just used as credits for the secondary minigame in the menus. But Jenny's first appearance is short-lived. As we enter a vent, we get trapped in the walls and are then transferred to Chowder. Chowder! Now, for whatever reason, Chowder is stuck in the garden area of the house, and he needs to find a flashlight bulb. And Chowder's special weapon is water balloons that always miss for some reason, but we'll see more of that later on. Now, I forgot to mention all characters' weapons are slightly different, with Chowder's here being sort of a heavy shotgun type, because he's fat, I guess. But as our Kino der Toten zombies instincts quickly kick in, we form a train of evil chairs, taking them out very easily and escaping with our light bulb. Then utilizing our water balloons to take out multiple targets at once, we move through the hallway, then kitchen, where we get another cutscene once again, Chowder getting vacuumed by the house, and we are back to DJ. Now in this room, we fight off some more flying books and find our first weapon upgrade with DJ, which I was pleasantly surprised to see in this game.
Cool.
We found DJ's first gun upgrade, increased rate of fire. There's gun upgrades in this, wow. And there are 3 upgrades for each character's weapons, giving them different abilities and buffs. Moving forward, we make our way to the library and find a dusty book that unlocks a secret door to the basement of the house. Here we find the crashed police car from the intro of the game, and inside it is a walkie-talkie with Skull on the other end. And of course, Skull, being the absolute genius he is, tells us to kill the beast by attacking the heart.
Kill the beast.
How?
To kill ye, beast,
Thou hast to strike at its heart.
What do you mean it's heart?
Then doing a few quick puzzles in the laundry room and workplace area, we climb back up and start Chapter 3, the second floor. Ooh. It's a female house. Now, staying as DJ, we're immediately pulled into a room and start to find most rooms on the second floor are either sideways or upside down, making things a little confusing for us. But walking on the ceiling, we find a vent where Jenny is trapped, but unfortunately won't open, so then we're switched back to Jenny to find another way around. And here's where things start to get a little bit crazy, leading up to our first boss fight. Yes, this game has boss fights. So we find ourselves in the master bedroom where we have quite the fight with this Groot TV. And after we take care of that, we officially have our first boss fight of the game against a doll version of Constance. Now, very simple here, as you could imagine. She only has 2 attacks and you just have to shoot the candles around her when she's vulnerable. So we take care of that pretty easily, which leads us into an interactive cutscene, which was pretty cool and ultimately defeated Constance's doll. Oh shit, look at this. There goes her head. What? But we're not done with Jenny yet, because we find yet another weapon upgrade for her and encounter our first evil furnace, or McAllister furnace as I like to call them. Now that's the Home Alone boss. And these aren't too dangerous, they're just very tanky, and we'll have to fight a lot more of them. Dude, he shot 1 fireball at us and then he died. Or wait, is he? No, he's dead. Got another monkey too. 13 out of 32. Now, shortly after that, we find DJ a floor below us and switch to him, only to be sucked into the ceiling of the master bedroom. Bro, why is he climbing on the bed like this? I don't like this. Oh. Well, goodbye. Now back to Jenny. This is where the game can start to get a little bit more difficult. So as we shoot the bike tire that runs the mini train set, the train launches off the track, breaking open a secret passage for us to sneak through. Secret Minecraft picture wall. Nevercracker knew what he was doing. But not before we defeat the red lamp, which has a special attack. Why does this seem like a boss? But we make our way through the secret passage, this time fighting multiple McAllister furnaces and lamps on the other side. And that's the end of the chapter for Jenny, as we finally fix the dumbwaiter and are switched to Chowder. I would not be getting in that thing, but Jenny's a badass, so. And we pick back up with Chowder in the sewer below the house, which is not a fun area to be in. Probably my least favorite part of the game, to be honest. Basically because it's just too tight and jam-packed with enemies. But the main challenge of the sewer area is with Chowder is this big open area where we have to fight off multiple waves of red monsters that are definitely not easy to defeat. And finishing off with taking out the vacuum pipes, we can finally move on. Now, I cut a lot of this sewer crap out because it was so boring, but basically we end up at Chowder's boss fight against multiple vacuum pipes and waves of monsters to finish his part, pump it, Chowder, and move back to Jenny. But luckily, we are super close to the squad all meeting back up together to fight the house. So we end up in the circus area of the house and take out some monsters as Jenny, right before we finally meet back up with DJ, and now all that's missing is Chowder.
Whatever. Let's just get out of here.
Damn, W-Riz, DJ. And here, Chowder goes on quite the solo journey through this little toy world where we find his basketball, and he fights off more vacuum pipes, eventually leading him to the circus area, where we play a few mini games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I win. And finally find the other 2. DJ and Jenny?
Chowder!
There they are.
You guys act so
The
surprised.
kids united. Now the moment we've all been waiting for, the 3 kids discover Constance's skeleton, and we get a cutscene of the very sad backstory of Nevercracker and Constance. Then, using each character, we have one last escape fight before we finally escape the house and see the outside for the first time in this game. But of course, we haven't fully escaped the house because now we are being chased by the house and we have to hit the correct buttons in a very fast order, which I will admit was very tough. But doing so leads us to the long-awaited finale of the kids versus the house in the quarry. Here, of course, we play as Chowder as he controls the excavator in the final boss fight of the game. And unfortunately, this was a little underwhelming because the house had like 3 very basic attacks you could easily dodge and then just chip away at its health. But nonetheless, it was still pretty fun to control the excavator as Chowder. And just as we think we defeated the house, it comes back to life and DJ gets the finishing blow with a stick of dynamite, and the kids live happily ever after. Now that is technically the end of the game, but because I'm a little weird, I went back through and collected all the secret monkeys in order to complete the art gallery, and ultimately just 100% the game. Yes! 100%.